Hello, Nightwolf.
Nightmares, they are out there sucking up life, devourers of souls. Not mere myths, but a chilling truth to bear. Evil images from lore, revealing their ghastly roles. What are these beastly things of fright? Could be a friend or the stranger you met last night. Legends of tales, each one holds a grain of truth. Hidden beasts within us waiting to break loose. But listen closely, for this is not the beast I see. Not the primal instincts that dwell in the deep. No, it's the ones who revel in the dark release. Twisted truths, bending
Welcome,
laws,
Shifty-Eyed Shady.
They find joy in chaos, delight in pain. Their hearts tainted, their minds unchained. They dance on the edge where shadows meet light. Their existence a paradox, both wrong and right. They wear masks of civility and harbor dark desires, feeding on discord, stoking the fires. Their laughter echoes in the corridors of power, a symphony of malevolence, growing louder by the hour. Listen closely, for this is not the beast I seek. Not the primal instincts that dwell in the deep. No, it's the ones who revel in the dark release. Twisting truth, bending laws as long as they can. Wearing masks of civility and harbor dark desires, feeding on discord, stoking the fires. Their echoes in the corridors of power, a symphony of malevolence, growing louder by the hour. But listen closely, for this is not the beast I seek. Not the primal instincts that dwell in the deep. No, it's the ones who revel in the dark release. Twisting truth.
Hey, Sirloin, good to see you.
The bustling streets where sirens wail and taxis race. A lost penguin roams its flippers out of place. Among skyscrapers and billboards, it seeks a hidden truth. For it knows the darkness lies within the absolute. What are these enigmatic souls of the night? Could be your barista or the artist by the street light. Urban legends whisper tales of their disguise. Hidden villains among us, you can find them by their lies. Listen closely, for this is not the foe I seek. Not the mundane wrongdoers who blend in so sleek. No, it's the ones who thrive on secrets and deceit. Bending rules, distorting facts, their motives incomplete. The penguin feathers ruffled by nonsense, tracking footprints of malevolence beneath the city trees. It waddles past coffee shops where laptops come and brew. Their existence a paradox, both lost and true. They say their every word is true, yet harbor hidden fires, a simple hate for you. Feeding on chaos, stoking ambition's desires, a symphony of malevolence masked by tailored truth. But listen closely, for this is not the foe I seek. Not the ordinary schemers who play hide and seek. No, it's the one in the dark release. Twisting narratives, bending laws that flood their saints. Stages of disgrace, their hunger insatiable, their motives unclear. In this concrete jungle, who will emerge is still clear.
Sit down and don't talk.
Hello, my name is Zurzu Cyclin, and welcome to my channel. Now, I understand that the music is a little loud. You guys probably can't hear me over it, so hello Nightwolf, hello Shifty-Eyed Shady, hello Sirloin. For some reason, I still talk over it as if you guys can hear me. Anyway, so the other night I went up on Raging Tomatoes, man almighty. I wanted to go on earlier. They were talking about some chick who had like banged 1,000 dudes or something and set a world record in a certain period of time. And I kind of wanted to go up on that subject, but I was cooking As you know, I have work to do. And after I got done cooking, of course, I sat down and got really ripped, and that was probably not the best idea, but I went up on Sarah's panel anyway. The subject was, by the time I got up there, the subject was probably one that I didn't want to get involved in, but you know, I figured may as well. Now, I will be doing a little bit of, hey, Dakota, how are you doing? Now, I will be doing a little bit of fact checking, and now I want to make it very clear that I don't have any hard feelings about people in these debates when I'm up there. You know, I do the debate, I do the discussion, and then after the discussion, I do a show about it, and I move on my way. Really, I don't hold any hard feelings. And one of the people that I will be doing a fact check on today, I've invited up for a game night. I still would like that person, of course, to come up for a game night. And as far as the game night, it may be Monday. That's what I'm thinking. Anyway, so let's get on with this show. Now, I made a few mistakes. I should call myself out. I made a couple of mistakes. An argument was about the jabby jab, and I accidentally threw in facts from the Masky Mask. Masky Mask. But anyway, and at one point, I wanted to say Biden, but for some weird reason, I twice said Obama. Probably way too much of the devil's lettuce, if you know what I mean. J6ers March for Justice. I didn't even know they had one planned.
That was a joke, wasn't it, Joe?
For the jab. No.
Oh, and just before this, 10th Man had basically threatened Balderson. Now, he's going to try to play it off, but what he was saying is, you don't know who I am. You don't know what I'm capable of. I'll come after you. Now, as far as YouTube goes, that's nonsense talk. He tried to play it off as, I'll make a video about you. Big deal, you'll make a video about somebody. That's normal. What he was suggesting wasn't. Now, if you want, this stream itself is under membership, so if you want to watch the rest of this live, I only clip my little section, as you know, as you should. The rest of the live is under a membership, so if you want to watch the rest of that live, you'll have to watch it over there on her membership.
There it is.
No. I had to get it when I was starting a new job, and I was kind of in a bit of a predicament where I didn't think I had other options, and the entry fee for that job was the jabby jab, and I was so irritated because
That's intentional, by the way.
What?
It was then. For them, that was their way of forcing, for them to be able to force you and say, we're not making you, but you know, the job, they tell they can't hire them, the school can't take the kid unless, so they are forcing you still.
Yeah, and I had
I mostly mention it for the fact and a little bit of respect for Sarah.
made it.
That's choice still.
I had made it through
It's a
2020,
forced
2021 without ever getting it until I started that job, and I was like, fuck. And I just didn't know what, and I figured by that point in
that's
time,
good.
I was like, well, maybe this round, like they've already worked out all the the bugs,
Right, it's coping and
so
shit,
I'm
yeah.
just like, let me say my prayers and hope and pray.
Right.
My blood pressure hasn't been right since.
I feel the same way about getting a driver's
Yeah, I
license.
mean,
Sarah,
not
I'm sick.
everybody has the wiggle room to have been able to say, "Fuck you,
Right.
I quit." You know,
Yeah.
I understand that. Yeah.
Sarah, let me
Not
say this
everybody-
real quick. Since
Oh, and the argument was being made just before this started. The argument was being made that you had an option. You were given a choice.
10th Man's pissed off at the world right now. Kent, I respect most of the things you say, but when you start telling everyone you don't know who I am, you're going to make an enemy that, I'll come, do this to you. I lose all respect for someone when they start throwing.
No, there's not coming and doing. No. People don't like when I talk about them, and there's a good goddamn reason. That's we'll leave it at that. Anybody who does know who I am and what I do knows what I mean. It's not I'm going to come do something. I'll start talking about you.
Oh my God, like I said, nobody online cares if you talk about them. Nobody, at least nobody creating channels really cares if another content creator pulls their stuff up and talks about them. Of course, they might return that by burning them a little bit with their own little stream, but nobody really cares. Nobody cares. What you had done was most certainly a threat.
You don't want that.
Please go ahead and talk about
Everybody
me.
wants
There's
me
nothing
to
anybody
just be
can
the
do to
nice
me.
joke guy. Trust me on that.
There's
want me to
nothing
be the
anybody
joke
can
guy.
do to me. I guarantee
It
you.
did kind of sound a little bit more like a threat that went further than the internet, but I mean,
The
I
you don't
just
know
say
who I
that's how
am
I
shit
took it when I was
is
listening,
more
but
interesting
I'm
to
so
me.
stoned
Is
right now. You know who says you don't know who I am? A nobody who is a nothing. Don't even remember half of what we talked about, or you guys talked about tonight.
Yeah, 10th man, you did get a little personal on that one. I think you need to.
And by the way, hello, Jason R.
I'm not the one that got personal. I was talking about the situation. Never one time did I point a finger at anybody up here. They
But
turned fingers
then
on
you
me.
made a personal threat to Ben.
That was a warning.
10th man.
potato.
You know, on here on YouTube, you can't do that.
Kent, I wonder who can do more, someone with $15 million or you?
Well, that actually depends.
I have nothing to lose.
Thank you.
Not a bad
Didn't
counter.
have enough balls to stand up to the government in any way, shape, or form on something that they didn't force. So I don't know how tough you think you're getting.
How many times have you had the police at your house in the past 20 years?
0.
Did 8 years in prison, you cunt.
How many
Yeah,
times
you
have you
don't
had the
wanna
get
police
really?
at your house harassing you and your family in the past 20
Back
years?
in the day, weed. I got caught with less than a pound of weed. It was a quarter pound, and in South Dakota, they don't fuck
Crazy.
around.
What's up, Zerzu, by the way?
Crazy.
Durr.
So hundreds
Yeah,
of
I
them
have
damn
never had the
things.
police at my house in my life. Ever.
Only time they've ever been at my house is when I called them.
No, I've had interactions with police, just normal interactions here and there on the street that, they're curious about something, they talk, and then we go on our own ways. But I've never had one at my house. That's
I've
Balderson,
been raided
8
a couple,
years
3
for
times. Weed.
For weed that I use now, they tell me I can carry 10 pounds because I have grand mal
Yeah,
seizures.
same thing happened to me. Yep.
Jesus Christ.
And guess
So-
what? They try in the prison when they forced, and I do mean forced, because they took me out of my cell and pushed me into the place and made me go do rehab. And I said, "This is pointless. You guys are just doing this to get money from the federal government.
Weed for rehab?
I'm gonna smoke a
Rehab for
joint
weed?
parking lot the day I flat my fucking number," and I did. My daughter was sitting there, and she's like, "There you go, Dad." I sparked that bitch up right
Sarah, guess how
Yeah.
many of my workers I forced to take the jab whenever I owned a company?
none.
All of them.
0.
Very
Well,
good.
Texas was pretty good at that. Texas had a good
And
standpoint there.
we were considered an essential business. So
All right, so let's take it to the next step then.
Florida did like
Does-
Texas.
does any-
too.
Does anybody up here think that the people who I feel coerced me into
Nice.
doing this should not be held legally responsible?
there's nothing you're going to do to them, I guarantee you.
That's
The government's got more than you do.
Not
Well,
a
that is
See,
question.
several people
and
pointed
there,
out.
I think
there
they should be
is
legally responsible, yeah.
speaking from a position of privilege, right?
I think they should be legally responsible for the shenanigans of 2020. Yes, the government is mealing mouthing it when they say they weren't trying to force people. They didn't force because they only did a mandate rather than a law or an order, but they made it every way that they could to trick and coerce people. I agree with the coercion, but they didn't.
Yeah, but then
force-
we reelected the guy that did all of that. Now, I will be speaking on that a little bit deeper. Because, yeah, you basically reelected the guy that did all of that.
Ben, whenever
Not
they
true.
Now, I understand they're going to point out the mandates were under Biden. At least the jabby jab mandates were under Biden, and that is true. The mandates were under Biden. But the jabby jab was not invented under Biden's presidency, nor was it released under Biden's presidency. And the ones that actually had problems were released under the Trump presidency.
whenever they got the deal, whenever they
Donald
passed
J. Trump.
when they passed the shot or whatever, Ben, they put a provision in there that you can't sue any of the medical companies who made it, or you can't sue the federal government.
Yeah. Well, they've got you can sue it, but there's a separate court. It's called the VAERS court, and I think that's what it's called.
Yep.
And it's a separate court, and so the taxpayers pay the bill on that. You can't directly sue them, but
Yeah, you're not gonna win shit. I can guarantee.
Yeah, no, it's garbage.
So
they're
without
absolutely protected.
Bilderson, without sounding like I have TDS, in 2020, who was president?
Trump.
Right.
Well, he was
That's
elected.
what I was trying to point out. A lot
And
of people
Zerzo-
seem to be pointing their fingers in other directions. when they say
Zerzo,
that.
question.
Oh,
Trump
re-elected
never
this person.
supported a mandate. Trump never supported a mandate.
Signed in.
Actually, Trump was the one who signed in the mandate for the mask. Yep, that's right. You guys were forced to put diapers on your face because of Donald J. Trump. Look up the history. It was 2020, around September of 2020. The election happened in what, November? Meaning that Biden hadn't even been elected yet. And we were mandated to wear masks. Now, see, that's the problem when people who've only voted ever for one president in their life all of a sudden get political. They don't understand that few month little space between the election and the president actually taking office.
Zerzo, got a question for you.
I believe it was 2020. The
Who was-
2018
Nope.
was
Yeah,
when
didn't he-
the
but he was
first
out by-
outbreaks were. Then 20.
That's
He was
right.
out-
Like
I
the
thought
last
he was-
3 months of the his term was whenever it got really
In
took off.
2019.
Yeah, I was gonna
19.
say because it was March of 2020 when it hit the news and things were.
But-
we started like a 2-week shutdown.
But here's what
slow-
people don't remember: who was Trump's medical advisor pointing out for the jibby jab?
Fauci.
Was that Fauci?
It was
Yeah.
Anthony Fauci, and who appointed him to their medical appointee,
Was that
and also
Obama?
pardoned him before he left office.
I don't know about pardoning him before he left office,
Yep,
but I think
Biden.
That would be
Biden.
Biden.
appointed him.
Biden pardoned him before he left office.
Wait,
Yep. He gave a huge blanket pardon to a bunch of people, including his own family.
Yep, Biden gave a Fauci Fauci January 6th, and basically his entire the January 6th committee, and basically all the people in his family a pardon. And here's what people don't understand about pardons: to accept a pardon, you have to admit wrongdoing.
correct. And people in both administrations have been pardoned and would have to accept wrongdoing.
And that mandate wasn't signed in until September 2021. So sorry that wasn't under Trump. Now was it?
Trump never supported mandates, and don't forget, didn't
And they are talking about the jabby jab mandate, not the mask mandate. The mask mandate was actually around March of 2020. Or September, I mean, of 2020.
he sign the executive order that got back pay and
So we'll go ahead and we'll pull that up right now. Let's see. Okay, in September 2020, the president living and working in the White House was Donald Trump, who was serving his term as president of the United States at that time. This is confirmed by multiple White House press briefings. In September 2020, all delivered or in September 20. All delivered by President Trump. Why can't I freaking read that? He was sitting in the White House through all of 2020. He was sitting as president in the White House through all of 2020. Numerous official White House briefings from September 2020 show him speaking in the White House, confirming his presence and role in that period. Mike Pence served from 2017 to 2021.
Reinstatement for all the military that were fired that refused?
Yep.
Right. See, I know what I'm talking about, but anybody's going to try to say that the Nuremberg conventions have no application to this, and then people to go, oh no, that's it, you made a choice. No, I was coerced and not given the correct medical information. What they did was illegal. And for anybody to try to defend that is absurd.
I'm not going to defend it, but I'm just saying you're never going to win against the government because they've got.
That's fine. So then when I'm behind the people cheering, when they're doing things like BLM did, even Joe Cool, you kept saying, oh my goodness, they can't be doing this stuff. And I just said, fire cleanses.
I mean, under Biden, if you went to and had church service, even in an open field, he was arresting pastors.
I'm aware.
At that.
I was doing shows about all that shit when it happened.
But he was allowing people to, march in BLM, marches.
Yes, Joe Cool and I were doing shows about that on my channel during all that stuff when it was happening. It's ridiculous. But I said to myself, when my husband said, okay, I made the appointment, otherwise they're going to fire us from both of our jobs if we don't go do this right now. And I said to myself, listen, all this conspiracy theorist stuff is real fun. JFK, 9/11, all the stuff. But there's no way that the government's just going to give us something that hurts us. Like all the conspiracy theorists, fun and everything, but we have the Nuremberg conventions, we have international law. People will rise up if things really turn out bad. And I took a roll of the dice.
Nice.
And then for you guys to say I wasn't coerced when the real information about that stuff didn't come out until years later is ridiculous.
Wait. Said you weren't forced, not coerced.
Wait.
You were definitely coerced.
But you also
Coercion is force.
No, coercion is not force. You're given an option. If you have any other option than just the one single option, it's not force.
to rise up, but you are the people.
And you didn't rise up. You capitulated.
I did rise up, and no one rose with me.
They didn't care about anybody, Nakoti. I had a buddy of mine who passed away due to vid, and I had another friend of mine who was constantly arguing against the vid, and I tried to explain to that person, it was like the day of my friend passing away, that they wanted to have this big conversation about how it was a hoax and da-da-da-da-da, and I basically tried to explain to that person that I didn't want to talk about it. I just had a friend pass from it, and you telling me it's bullshit is not going to help the situation. And he continued to press 3 or 4 times until my very final words to him, which was very clear: if you say one more thing about this, you will be picking your ass up off the ground. He went silent. We have never talked since.
Do you think rising up was easy? Is that
I
the
did rise up.
story? Do you think
I
that
was
you were
at
gonna
my
be celebrated
politicians'
at the start of the
offices.
Fight? You capitulated.
And Ben, hi, Miss Balderson.
Hello.
I'm gonna go make a little bit of coffee.
No, you're not allowed.
I'll be quiet till you get back.
I dare you to come stop me.
Okay.
Tootie is in charge, and you will listen to her until I get back. And when I get back, if Tootie gives me a list of people who weren't listening, then I will boot you for the night. Thank you.
Don't make me get out a notebook.
Oh, hell yeah.
Tootie, I'll follow you in the directions. Yeah, I don't do it well, but I'll try to do it.
I mean, carry on the conversation. It was going fine. Even 10th man calmed down there too, so everything was going good.
I'm good at like, and don't take this the wrong way, 10th, but I'm really good at like, shutting things down. And it's like a heated moment. All that I've done it plenty in the last 20 years with my business, so I'm pretty good at.
And by the way, Jason R is who I've invited up on the show, and hopefully he'll come up.
Yeah, in 2012.
Yes, I don't have a problem with anybody.
To be used on the people in our country. You bet they propagandize the shit out of you. Coercion, propaganda, all of it. Force, not so much.
It was anybody other than Tech, because I know she saw it, because I played it on my show when she was there in Positive. So, did anybody see when I talked to High Impact Flicks Brian? Anybody know who he is?
No.
High Impact Logs, High Impact Flicks. He does, anyway,
Brian's a.
Here's the deal.
Brian's a real life friend. I hang out with Brian.
That's why it sounds familiar.
I had a discussion with him on his channel there a couple, like 6-8 months ago. And he was saying that it was wrong for the protesters when they took that dude who was in America for 30 years, right? And they blocked off a bridge, and then the police beat him up, right?
Taking a
break. And I said, no.
Hold up. For the people listening who may not be familiar with the dude or the bridge or the event, would you mind, for the audience, just clarifying that, please?
A little quick backstory for us.
Yeah, if it's not too much. If it is, I get it. But for the people
there were
listening who may not
protests
be on board,
because a gentleman.
I should give you a warning. The two people on the right-hand side of the screen are bloviating fools. They love to hear the wind cross over their vocal cords. We're about ready to go into basically a one-on-one with them, only because they love to hear their voices.
Who was in, I think
gentleman's
it was
name,
New York.
please?
Oh, I have no idea, bro. I can't remember all that shit.
Okay. Well, that's a significant point, but go on.
I was just trying to give an example. So
Yeah,
anyway,
no. Go ahead. Continue.
do you
with
remember the guy's
example.
name?
Well, I don't know what you're talking about. That's why I'm
Okay.
asking for clarification, and I'm sure that saying this guy at this one place at this bridge that one time
Yeah.
may be nebulous to other people who are listening. So for your sake, as much as anybody else's, being specific really, really helps with this. So if you wouldn't mind, you remembered Brian's name.
I lead you to the
Right.
information. I don't give it to you. So anyway,
No. That's kind of wild, dude, because the only thing you remembered was Brian's name. You don't remember anything about what you're talking about.
because that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking
Right,
about the
but-
situation. We're talking
so
about
we're
the
talking
result.
about Brian?
Yep.
Okay, what did Brian do to you?
Are you
Because
listening?
you don't know what you were talking about and why you were talking about to him. You can't recall
Are you
any of the
listening?
details about.
No, he's not listening. He's just rambling off shit because you said, Brian, you were trying to tell a story, and he seemed to have got offended. You must have talked about his little buddy too hard, I guess. I don't know.
About that. You only know Brian's
Oh,
name.
do you have a crush
So-
on Brian?
No. I'm just.
Then shut up for a second. I was almost
asked you to provide details, and you couldn't. You said
Steve, the
I'm
name's not
capable.
important.
Okay, so the crux of the matter isn't important. What's important is
Correct.
whatever talking head you decided.
Steve,
Right?
let me
That's
put it
it.
this way. What was
I
the
know
name of the
you-
person in 10 and 1 square? Can you tell me the person's name, or can you tell me what happened that day?
I'm sorry,
See, it's
dude.
not the person; it's what happened.
You're
Right.
gonna have to start over because you crackered up the first end of that extra hard.
No, you see, I can understand. I hear what he's saying. He's trying to say because the guy said Tiananmen Square wrong, that he doesn't understand what he was talking about. Jason R is very right. Jason R is accurate in saying that it's more about the historical event than the individual, or it's more about the historical event than the individual in question. Nobody really knows the name of the person in Tiananmen Square. And the reason why we don't is the event. The event itself was more important. Nice.
Yeah, so you can go after me. I'll be done in less than 60 seconds.
Being talked about now.
So, anyway, there was this protest. They blocked off the bridge, and Brian's contention was that it should never block another man's travel. And I said, no, when the government's gotten so out of control that sometimes you just have to. You have to do things that are breaching other people's rights. And he said, no, that's wrong. And I told him he's wrong, right? Because when the majority does not stand up and stop tyranny from happening, your rights are null and void. And he don't like that, but I'm right.
In that moment,
there's a caveat to that, though, 10th.
Yeah,
Okay. Your
a few.
rights to do what you want to do come to a halt whenever it impedes upon my rights.
But when your
You
government
understand how that works?
is impeding on my rights and you don't stand to stop them from doing it, your rights are null and void.
at
No,
the
that's not
point
how
to
it
where
works.
you're saying no.
Yes, it is
you
how it
can't-
works.
No, it's
Hang
not.
hang on.
That's how it works in
You
real
got-
life.
hey, dude, just fucking calm down. You're right to a point, and then the point pivots when you become the thing that you're protesting. And when you impede someone from getting emergency services, all you're doing
bad.
is being tyrannical. That's all you're doing
Nope.
is embodying the characteristics of the people that you're protesting. So
I know
an-
where you're
an
going on
actual-
that with
hang
the
on,
DHS.
An actual
Sorry. And I immediately heard the soft-sit in this argument, and I was trying to describe that DHS has described the sovereign citizen movement as a loose-knit terrorist group, and none of his arguments are really landing.
fucking boss, an actual fucking boss would go, you know what? We did shut this down. This is our fucking highway. We run this shit. And to show you that we're not the fucking monsters that we're standing up against, of course, if you have an emergency, you can go through. Of course.
Yep.
If you have demonstrated cause, you can pass. Of course you can, because we're not the pieces of shit
Right.
that we're fighting, but you don't do that.
No. See, I'm okay with that. But what I'm saying is, he tried to say, no, you're
But
just not
you don't
allowed.
do that, and that's the point.
You're just not
the
allowed to
point, is that you
ever
don't
block
do
a
that.
street.
So when
Now,
given the
whenever you're
chance to
accusing other
be
people-
benevolent, when given the opportunity to do the right thing, you go, no, we're going to be as bad or worse than our oppressors. Go fuck yourselves. And you wonder why people don't align with your cause just every fucking day.
Oppressors.
All right. I mean, it's an angle. It is. Good luck.
So a mom needing to get home to pick up her her adolescent child off the bus. You don't care about that happening. You don't care about some little kid standing there wondering where the hell their mom is. That doesn't
Did
matter.
you care about the thousands of
No,
people
I've
that
been in
Cuomo
a
forced
few of
into old
these
age homes to die?
No, what I was trying to say, I didn't realize it was only going to be a conversation between 10th Man and everybody on the panel. But I've been in these protests. If you wanted to get your kid home now, your kid home time is usually the time when the protests are at their mellowest. And just most of the time, the people aren't blocking the streets. It's when it gets really late at night that the blocking of the streets start and whatnot. So, and even if, let's say, you were on foot, it's really not that hard to walk past these protests. Now, I understand that like the May Day was a different story and the LA riots was a different story. But for the most part, these gatherings, you can walk right past them. They're not, nobody's gonna bother you. I've been in a, sorry, I'll let you answer that.
Ask that one more time.
I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm saying, did anybody care about the thousands of elderly people that were forced into the infected homes?
Yeah, we all
When
did.
when
And
when
we
there
all
were
fucking
medical
got to
boats,
think about
One
it.
or the other.
there were
If
medical
everybody
boats
cared,
sitting right
you're bringing
there
up a straw man.
that could have been used, but people said they didn't have respirators, so they couldn't use the boats. But then we find out that respirators didn't
What
help
does
at
that
all and were
have
actually
to
a
do
major
with mother
problem.
getting home to their child?
Because you getting home to your child pales in comparison to the thousands of people who were unalive due to bad policies. So your rights are now null and void because thousands of people
That's
died.
not
I'm
how that
sorry.
works.
Now here's where I have to correct it. 10th Man is leading on to the idea that the jabby jab was deadly. Now, the very first jabby jabs were. The first jabby jabs, it was determined that they, okay, so we'll take it straight from the bot so that I'm pretty much making sure that I'm speaking accurate. The first COVID, or the first jabby jab in the United States was authorized and released while Donald J. Trump was president. The FDA granted emergency use authorization, EUA, for the Pfizer, BioNTech vac, and December 11, 2020. Now that's December. In December 11th, they granted emergency use. By December 14th, the first American was given it. Now the next question is were they later discovered to have problems? And now as far as discovered would suggest that they hid the problem. They didn't hide the problems, but some safety issues were later identified with early vid pokes, but they were rare and detected through ongoing monitoring, not discovered later in the sense of being hidden. Now, it was mainly, let's see, they were mainly in the Pfizer Moderna early vaccines. Let's get down to this bottom line because I don't want to read a lot of that information because it'll get me in trouble. But yes, the first poke released under Donald Trump were later found to have rare but real side effects, especially heart problems. These were not widespread failures or hidden problems. The risks were studied, confirmed, and additional warning labels were given. Bleach. Yeah, no, it wasn't drinking, it was injecting. And sticking light up your butt. That was the suggestion from the great Fuhrer Donald J. Trump. I probably shouldn't let this run for a minute. I kind of want a quick smoke. I'm going to dive in a song real quick and we'll continue from here. Let's pull up this. Rabbit Holes is good.
Tell me you have nothing to hide, but there's something deep inside we'll never know. sacrifice a piece of our lives. Don't give in to the lies, look inside. It won't break you, find it inside. To feel the lies that you hide. We know you don't care for truth. Is it pain from your youth? Something inside drives you far from the person that you are. The people come in droves, each one a drone, waiting for something to guide them home. Broken inside, together they find pride. From the world they hide, truth they deride. Everything must be untrue. You look between the false, see the dreams they told. The more you search, the more you'll find simple lies, hiding truth from your mind. Don't give up the fight, the truth's in your sight. Dig deep, see the light, embrace what's right. It won't break you, find it inside. To feel the lies that you hide. We know you don't care for truth. Is it pain from your youth? Break free from the chains, unveil what's true, let go of the pain. In the rabbit hole you claw your way out. Embrace the truth and banish the doubt. Then banish the doubt. In the shadows you roam, haunted by ghosts, clinging to lies you needed the most. The mirror shows a face you don't recognize, a puppet on strings lost in your own lies. Each day we sacrifice a piece of our lives. Don't give in to the lies, look inside. It won't break you, find it inside. To feel the lies that you hide. We know you don't care for truth. Is it pain from your youth? The walls are closing in, time's running out.
Yeah, and we'll go ahead and pull that down since I'm back. No need to continue playing it.
That's the way it has. Yes, is how it works.
Kent, let me put it this way.
You
Hey,
All
Kent,
right.
let me put it this way.
Sorry, that's
In-
that's
in-
not how it works in America. Okay.
In,
right. So your minor inconvenience is
They
more
should've got
important than
coffee.
thousands of people being killed. Yeah,
That didn't happen.
it makes sense to me.
hey, Kent,
To me, yes.
let me put it this way, buddy. In,
From what I've looked up, the actual number is 1,000 about.
Texas, we
My
passed a
child
new
is more
law.
important than
You-
somebody else's old family member. Absolutely.
You block
no.
the road in Texas, we passed a new law. If we feel in danger, it's called hit the gas pedal as hard as you can and drive through the center of them. And guess what? We can't be charged for shit.
Now, I like Jason R., but he's very wrong on this. I'm not sure why I like Jason R., but I think he's an alright guy. I've talked with him in Discord a little bit. We're able to, punch it out and have a little argument, but then afterwards be mellow with each other. So that's probably why I like him, is we're able to do the little punching it out and then be cool. But he's dead wrong on this. He's wrong. There is no law that was passed in Texas that said you can just romp on the gas and drive through the crowd. Let me explain that a little bit. Where are we? Let's click on this one here. Okay, the Texas law that he's referring to. Now, here's where his problem is. Now, I didn't know about it, so I really didn't argue against him. But, so the short answer is Texas does not have a law that says if you feel threatened at a protest, you can hit the gas and nothing will happen. But there was a law, a proposed bill years ago that people often referred to. And it did not pass into law. It did not pass into Texas law, what did pass into Texas law were increasing penalties for protesters who blocked the road, not immunity for drivers. So let's see what did happen in the increase. Texas passed HB 9 in 2021, which increased penalties for obstructing the roadway during a protest. This law targets protesters, not drivers. What did not pass? There was a bill introduced in 2027, HB 250, that would have protected drivers from civil liability if they injured a protester blocking the road while exercising due care. But that law never became law, and it did not allow someone to just mash the gas. It only applied if the driver was using due care, and the protester was illegally blocking the road. Where the confusion comes from. Let's see. So basically, the confusion comes from Texas increased penalties for protesters blocking the roads in HB 9. A separate immunity bill, HB 250, was introduced but never passed. Social media simplified it into Texas legalized running over protesters. Nonsense. There's actually been people that have been charged for running over people in protest.
In Texas, they passed that law where if you feel threatened by people around you, you can hit the gas there, and 0 charges can be pressed.
Yeah, but what happens when it then goes to the federal? Because you would be talking about murder then.
It's not murder if you're in threat of your life. You are doing what is required to get away and save your life.
Right, but you can't tell a gun owner that, buddy. You just can't tell a gun owner that. I'm sorry. It would be a murder trial. It may not be a murder. You still have to,
well, let's
you're
put
going to
this.
still have to go through this. Look, okay,
apply.
I own a firearm, and I know absolutely if I have to defend myself and take a life with my firearm, I absolutely know that there's not going to be any way. It's not going to be oh yeah, you were justified. Go ahead and have a nice day, Zeus. No,
Well,
what they're
what you're
going to do is they're
understanding
going
is
to
that
take me to court. I
he's
have to
not
go through the
gonna-
court. Why are you talking over me? I mean, I like Tootie Bug too. She's actually really cool. But man almighty, I'm in the middle of talking. Court process to prove that I
for murder because
had
the law
reasonable-
is not stating that it is murder. What he did was not a murder charge. It was legal
Also-
for him to do what he did. So there will be no
Also,
murder charge.
there's
well, that would
weird-
ultimately
the
matter
fact
on
that
the
you brought up
court's
the
final
gun in it,
decision.
the fact that you brought up the gun in it would trigger federal red flags, but feds don't pick up normal murder charges.
But I mean, Ben, here's the ultimate thing.
Like,
we
if
had
the state said it's cool, it's cool.
we had a guy in
That's not a normal situation. What you're talking about there would be called domestic terror. Most certainly a federal charge. We're not talking about, you ran over one guy because he jumped out in front of your car and said, "Stop ice." No, we're talking about running through a crowd of people, stopping you, or blocking the roads at a protest. That has already been tried in federal court. That has already been tried by a man who rented a U-Haul and did exactly that. And that man didn't fare well. Neither will you.
Austin, Ben, who literally he ran up to a vehicle who was trying to drive through one of these wonderful protests that they love, and tried to lift his gun and point it at the driver to stop him and everything.
Cigarette
and the
coffee.
driver had his firearm and pulled it out and shot the guy dead.
Fucking ain't right.
The city of Austin went and prosecuted him, and the Democrats in Texas are really upset because Governor Abbott said, nope, all charges dropped. You're free, dude." And
Well,
let him
yeah,
walk
the
out.
governor has the same pardon rights as the president on state level crimes.
Yeah.
And
So-
Alexander says we were
And
all
that, my
affected
fr-
by 2020.
That, my
in some
friends,
form
is a
or-
totally different. That, my friends, is a totally different situation. That would be self-defense. That would most certainly be self-defense if You know, a protester whipped out his pistol at you, and you whipped out your pistol and beat him to the punch. That's self-defense, my friend.
Than others. The police have been heavy-handed for decades. The government too corrupt for centuries, and the business has too much power since the 1980s. Welcome to the party, pal.
If you
Bingo.
want to put that into perspective, you'll go back to the 1870s when the United
God,
States
this guy just
became a
likes to hear
corporation.
himself talk.
And in the
God.
ensuing 40 years, with the formation of the Federal Reserve, you see the complete removal of the Constitution from the machinations of day-to-day government. The Constitution is effectively marketing to keep people caught into a red team, blue team, let's fight each other even though we're the minorities in the country. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but the largest percentage of voting age Americans is people who don't vote. The second largest voting bloc of voting age Americans is people who are registered as independent or no party affiliation.
Correct. Now, you just described that the largest body of our country do not vote. If we could coerce, or if we can come to an agreement, which we can't in America, it seems, come to an agreement on anything, but if we could come to an agreement that those people choose to vote for an independent party, and you already pointed out that there's a good portion that are already independents as votes not being counted, those votes will be counted. The way we end this left-right paradigm that everybody's complaining about, the way we end it is to get together as a nation and vote in one of the independent parties. Problem solved.
The minority in the country are the people who are taking up all of the conversational space with the red team, blue team stuff, even though they, as a voting bloc, account for 29% of the overall voting age adults in America. This is a ridiculous conversation. I don't know why we're still pretending that anything that either of red team or blue team matters. Nobody in the country wants it. Everybody hates it. Why don't we do something, I don't know, sane, rational, and different?
Yeah, let's try socialism where you don't have to work and the rich will pay
that's
for you.
fucking retarded. I said sane, rational, and different. How about you live in reality? How about that?
I can kind of. Now he just. I don't know if he heard that wrong or what, but did you hear the same thing I did? He was mocking you, Steve. He was mocking you as being supporting of socialism. He didn't say it was a good idea to become a socialist. He was mocking you for holding the ideals of socialism, which is a large part of sovereign citizenship.
Yeah.
He's not a socialist.
Fucking dumb fuck.
We all get together, we all make it all kumbaya, and everybody pays for everything, and no government, and if you have a problem with your neighbor's gonna come over and protect you. Socialism.
Why would
No.
you say that? Like, what?
No,
would
this guy's right.
possess-
Steve, I know you're a
Steve.
First
What
Amendment
would
auditor.
possess you? What would fucking what?
Steve, you're an
idiotic
auditor. You're a free
fucking
man on the
thing.
land. I get it.
No,
You're one of
I
those that
don't
you're just-
understand why you're that dumb. What would possess you to say that?
Yeah, Steve, I'm so dumb. I mean, people want to be like me, but they don't want to be like me. They want to be like Steve in life. I mean,
Okay,
nobody
no,
wants
you're
to be
not answering
successful
the
and
question.
retired.
You're spouting gibberish. Why would you suggest when I said something sane and rational? Why
Because
would you
nothing
suggest
about
socialism?
you is sane or rational, Steve. You
Yeah.
love to hear your own
You're-
voice.
you're
You've
still
been up here
spouting
for
nonsense.
15
Why
minutes
did-
and you talk
why
more than
did-
anybody all fucking night.
Amen.
I've been here for a total talk time of 9 minutes out of 4.5 hours of
And you
this
talked
stream.
like 8 of those 9 minutes. No one gives a fuck. You
Again,
have nothing intelligent to say.
4.5 hour stream, maybe 8.5 minutes of talk time. You
But from the moment you sit down, you walk away for a few minutes, you're not talking. The moment you sit down in front of your mic, you don't shut up. It's like a chatterbox the entire time.
spouted some dumb shit. Defend your dumb shit. Why did you suggest socialism?
Because that's
He didn't suggest socialism. He very clearly was mocking you. Mocking you for the idea that, oh, we all have a right to property. We just go ahead and claim it as our own, and our buddy's going to help us protect our socialism. Everybody's going to get together and pitch in their money, and we're all going to live in a kumbaya sovereign citizen land. Socialism.
what your fucking type wants.
No, you're wrong. You're so wrong. You're wrong out loud on purpose in front of Jesus and everybody else.
Oh God, and that's the other thing is freaking including Jesus is you don't have, there's nothing about you that speaks Jesus to me, sir.
Why would you be
You're
this
fucking one of
dumb?
these
Why?
morons. You're one of these morons. I'm a fucking First Amendment order. I mean, and you need to fucking bow down before Jesus.
You're just spouting nonsense. What do you think? What's your actual argument, and why would you suggest socialism?
Steve, I
This
watch
is what you
morons like
said.
you in fucking court all the time. Y'all get y'all's asses.
And he's refusing to hear the man say that he's not suggesting socialism. He's mocking you with it.
handed to you
You're
on
still
the daily.
spouting nonsense, dude. Why did you answer the fucking question?
I'm not
Why
going to
did
answer shit you say, Steve, because you're stupid.
Why did you suggest socialism?
Oh my God, I didn't say I fucking suggested socialism. I said
But
that's
you
what
did.
you want. You retarded
No,
MFer.
because you're dumb and you think that you need an authoritarian government to tell you what to do always. You think that the opposite
That's
of
not
that
what I
is
like,
socialism.
but okay.
You're
You might tell me what I like,
retarded.
Steve, please.
Actually, the whole argument that, you know, this nonsense about your neighbors are all going to get together and of the sovereign citizen movement is socialism. Everybody's going to pay for the roads.
Go ahead.
All right, have a
Billy
good one.
Steve, please tell us how to be successful in life.
Well, here's the first step. You stand as a man and
It does get a little better later when we get into the Venezuela subject and the grab for oil.
you do what you're skilled at. If you do what you're skilled at, you're by magnitudes ahead and shoulders above the rest of the masses. If you find something that you're good at and you excel in it, you're going to be able to do well in life, no matter what economic
Answer me this
conditions that
now,
you're
Steve.
under.
Now, answer me this. Are you still working, and how old are you?
I am 47 years old. I am working 7 days a week, and I am very happy with where I am and my station in life, and I am only going up because of my dedication.
Guess what, Steve? I'm 46, and I'm retired.
Hey guys, I think there might have been a mishearing in what Jason had initially said. Steve, what did you think that he had said about the socialist comment?
I thought that he was advocating it, and I thought that that was ridiculous because he said, "This is you." What?
I'm going to be inviting over Jason R for game night. That's funny.
So socialism is the thing, and blah blah blah, and he just went
you're
off
drunk
on
and
it,
don't know what
and
you're
that
saying.
sounded
That's not what he
ridiculous
said.
to
You
me.
misheard him. That's not what he said at all.
Okay, well, then he does a really bad job of communicating, and he does it in a way that's like supposed to be quasi funny, but it sucks because he's not funny. And then he does it in a way that's supposed to be snarky, but it doesn't land because he sounds too serious. So he sounds like he's advocating for socialism, which
I heard
is
him
a
correctly.
failure.
Well, I mean, everybody else
Heard him correctly.
Everybody else
You're the only
understood
one
it
out that
right.
Heard him correctly. So
I mean, let's see, is everybody else the issue, or is Steve perfect and everybody else is the morons up here? That's a really tough one.
You're still not saying anything, though. You haven't put forward an
Good job,
actual
Tootie.
argument ever.
Tootie, thank you, because I mean,
Hi, man, I don't, you don't, and thing on the thing, and put the thing on, you just don't, and fucking, hey, man, get
Now with Jason R, him and I, we don't have the same ideology. We don't have the same ideas, and that's kind of the purpose behind that, is for maybe people of different backgrounds to get together and have a game night. Just have a little bit of fun. I'm not exactly sure how much longer I'll be going on this. I might split it, or I will be splitting it into 2 parts. But the fun stuff of the Venezuelan oil comes up tomorrow, I guess.
your dude.
hey,
That's
Steve,
your whole
go
fucking
fuck
argument.
yourself,
You
little
sound-
bitch.
This is wild for me to watch. Steve is one of my best friends.
It is funny, these guys, both of these guys have the same ideology, and Boulderson's going to point that out.
And I'm getting to know Jason, and you're actually more on the same side than what you'd ever think. And
Yeah,
this
he's
is
just a
totally
fucking
crossing
idiot,
paths.
dude.
I was trying to
It's
clarify it.
kinda hilarious. Like,
Like, buddy,
Jason
hey.
just called Steve a socialist.
Why don't you,
and
Balderson? Why don't you mansplain it for the ladies?
Let me
please?
put this
I was
into
trying.
perspective real quick.
Things and
Jason,
stuff.
I hate the government. Communists are even fucking worse. I am super comfortable with the size of my dick, and you don't scare me. So we can be friends.
Only person. Okay, now, as he said that was a 4-hour stream, and so far he was the only person to bring up the size of his member. You know who does that? The little man.
that seemed pretty legit.
Ben, he has no fucking clue. I mean, he thinks I said one thing while I'm saying another. He's fucking.
Yeah, you sound like a fucking idiot.
I'm
but I'm
gonna guess,
willing to let
Ben,
all
he's
that
probably
slide.
drunk.
Right about the time this guy goes to have steak. Now, oh wait, Steve doesn't drink. That I can actually confirm. And Boulderson will confirm that, but as far as I know, Steve doesn't drink. But when he goes to have steak, that's about the time I'll cut it off.
I am, dude. I'm willing to
Steve
let
doesn't-
you sounding
Steve,
like
stop,
an idiot
stop,
slide.
please. Steve
Go ahead,
doesn't drink.
Balderson.
Steve doesn't drink.
It's all
Neither
been a
of you
fucking
two
slide.
are
Hold on, one at a
understanding.
time.
Neither of you two are understanding what the other one is saying. I know Steve because he's one of my best friends. No, does he have as much money as you? No. But he is a well-respected journalist. The fucking
Journalist.
Epstein story, the first time it was ever aired was on his fucking channel, and he won't brag about it because he's too big a man. All right? And Jason knows his shit. You two are actually mostly on the same side. I don't understand how you're misunderstanding each other so fucking much, but cool it. It's that easy.
Yeah,
Tell
dude, I
Tan
really
to
don't
take
care.
care
I
of-
really don't. I already
Daddy,
told you.
Daddy.
He's a sovtard that hangs around with Brian from Here's the Deal.
Is
You're
spoken.
probably like, I'm fucking, I'm totally comfortable where I'm at. I'm totally comfortable with the size of my cock. You're okay, dude. You can hang out. Calm fucking down.
Just,
You can hang out? Oh, like you're the arbiter of who hangs out on Sarah's panel.
I can hang out. Thank you for your permission, Steve. Since I'm the one who's paid for this entire panel,
And that is right. Jason R. has dropped hundreds of dollars into tonight's stream.
I appreciate your permission.
You're welcome.
there's Mama.
Oh,
Yes,
also,
thank you
my
for
timer went
sponsoring
off.
the
I
show.
do have to go cook some steak. I I have a couple of really nice picanhas, and they're gonna set up really
Hi,
well.
Miss Balderson.
Hi, Christy.
I've been enjoying the entertainment.
Heck yeah.
We're trying to outnumber the dicks on screen.
You know, it's only one person mentioned that, Sarah.
It's like 3 now, but yeah.
See, look
No,
behind
just-
me.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
telling you,
okay.
you're
Yeah,
okay.
Wait.
You're okay. You can hang out. It's all right, dude. Fella, calm down. I'm gonna go cook some really good meat right now. God bless everyone. Have a fantastic night, and
Thank you.
I hope the new year finds all of you with immense success and immense love, and surrounded by family and everything that truly fucking matters to you. I really do. Have a great night.
So, do you know who brags about having a steak? Oh man, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna have me a great steak, and my life's gonna be so splendid and fine with my steak. The guy that doesn't get steak every night. As always, you guys are awesome. Remember, you don't have to be wise. Just don't submit to stupid. Thank you very much. Have a good day. I almost just pushed the button without giving you guys a song. God, I just can't get this streaming right. That was supposed to be the song, guys.
Nightmares, they are out there sucking up life, devourers of souls. Not mere myths, but a chilling truth to bear. Evil images from lore, revealing their ghastly roles. What are these beastly things of fright? Could be a friend or the stranger you met last night. Legends or tales, each one holds a grain of truth. Hidden beasts within us waiting to break loose. But listen closely, for this is not the beast I see. Not the primal instincts that dwell in the deep. No, it's the ones who revel in the dark relief. Twisting truths, bending laws, the flaws they keep. They find joy in chaos, delight in pain. Their hearts tainted, their minds unchained. They dance on the edge where shadows meet light. Their existence a paradox, both wrong and right. They wear masks of civility and harbor dark desires, feeding on discord, stoking the fires. And laughter echoes in the corridors of power, a symphony of malevolence, growing louder by the hour. Listen closely, for this is not the beast I seek. Not the primal instincts that dwell in the deep. No, it's the ones who revel in the dark release. Twisting truth, bending laws, that's all they can. Wearing masks of civility and harbor dark desires, feeding on discord, stoking the fires. The echoes in the corridors of power, a symphony of malevolence, growing louder by the hour. But listen closely, for this is not the beast I seek. Not the primal instincts that dwell in the deep. No, it's the ones who revel in the dark release. Twisting truths, bending laws, and flaws they keep. The bustling streets where sirens wail and taxis race. A lost penguin roams, its flippers out of place. Among skyscrapers and billboards, it seeks a hidden truth. For it knows the darkness lies within the other's loop. What are these enigmatic souls of the night? Could be your barista or the artist by the street light. Urban legends whisper tales of their disguise. Hidden villains among us, you can find them by their lies. Listen closely, for this is not the foe I seek. Not the mundane wrongdoers who blend in so sleek. No, it's the ones who thrive on secrets and deceit. Bending rules, distorting facts, their motives incomplete. The penguin feathers ruffled by nonsense, tracking footprints of malevolence. hidden fires, a simple hate for you. Feeding on chaos, stoking ambition's desires, a symphony of malevolence masked by tailored truth. Well, listen closely, for this is not the foe I seek. Not the ordinary schemers who play hide and seek. No, it's the ones who revel in the dark release, twisting narratives, bending laws that flaws their saints. Strong as hate, dwellers of the shadows embrace, for they walk among us, leaving traces of disgrace. Their hunger insatiable, their motives